Hello, 6th graders. We are going to be working on 13.2 this week, so you should have this worksheet in front of you, this little packet. It should say 222 at the bottom and 13.2 at the top. Okay, here we go. 13.2 dot plots, lesson objective. Display and analyze data using a dot plot. Represent numerical data using a dot plot. I'm going to push this up just a little bit. Here we go. The number of text messages sent by some students one day is as follows. Represent the data on a dot plot. Okay, so here are our numbers. The number of text messages spans from 10 to 15 messages. To construct a dot plot of these numbers, draw a horizontal number line that extends from 10 to 15. Here's a horizontal number line. It starts at 10, ends at 15. Number of text messages. How many people got 10 text messages? 1, so there's 1 dot there. How many people got 11 text messages? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 dots here. And for 12, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 dots on 12. How many people got 13? 1. How many people got 14? None. There is no dot. Okay? Let's keep going. The data value 10 appears once, which is right here, right here, right here. So place 1 dot above the number 10 on the number line. The data value 11 appears 3 times, so there are 3 dots above the number 11. The data value 14 is absent, so there is no dot above the number 14. Dot plots are similar to line plots. Simply replace the X's with dots. Next page, next page. Okay, here we go. Eugenia tossed a number cube, numbered 1 to 6 20 times. Okay, so she tossed a number dice that you could only roll either 1 through 6, and she tossed that dice 20 times. She recorded the number in the table below. Represent the data on a dot plot. Okay, so let's see here. How many times did she roll a 1? Twice. So there are 2 dots. How many times did she roll a 5? 5 times. So there are 5 dots. How many times did she roll a 3? 6 times. So there are 6 dot plots. Okay, I need you guys to remember that the top line of your graph right here is always going to be the bottom line down here. Do you see where it says number here? Numbers tossed on a number cube. 1 through 6, 1 through 6. Okay? All right, you ready to try one of these on your own? Guided practice. It says, represent each set of data with a dot plot. Give each dot plot a title. Let's look at this again. What was our title? Our title is numbers tossed on a number cube, right? So I want you guys to try this. I want you to pause the video, try numbers 1 through 2, and come back to me. Okay, hopefully you did what you were asked of. So, for our first one, it says, a group of 15 students was asked how many times they have traveled on a plane. The results are recorded in the table. Number of plane trips. How many people went on 2 plane trips? 3 people, 3 students did. How many students went on 5 plane trips? 3 students did. Let's see if yours looks like mine. So my title would be number of plane trips. Remember that the top one here is going to be the bottom one here. Mirror my words. The top portion of this will be the bottom portion of this. These top numbers here will be these bottom numbers here. Are we good? So far, so good. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get that from here. And how many kids had 0 plane trips? 1. So there's 1 dot. How many kids had 1 plane trip? 5. So there are 5 dots. Okay, how did you do? Let's look at the next one. The results of the high jumps at a track meet are recorded in the table. High jump results in centimeters. We have 150, 151, 152, 53, 54, and 155. And the number of students below. So, if I remember correctly, our top line here will be our bottom line on our dot plot. So high jump results in centimeters, high jump results in centimeters. How did you do? How many students jumped 150 centimeters? 1. So 1 dot. How many students jumped 155 centimeters? 2. So there are 2 dots. Did you do all right? Okay, moving on. Identifying the shape of a set of data. The shape of a dot plot can be either symmetrical or skewed. Most of the data is near the center of the range. The shape is symmetrical. Do you guys notice how this is kind of mirrored on this side to this side? So it is symmetrical. Now if we look at this one, do you see how there's a tail going to the left? If the tail is going down to the left, it will be left skewed. If the tail is going down to the right, it will be right skewed. So we have symmetrical, left skewed, right skewed. So far, so good? Alrighty, moving on, next page, next page. Interpret data from a dot plot. The money in dollars that 15 students earned by babysitting in 1 week is shown in the dot plot on the right. Briefly describe the distribution of the earnings of the students. Okay, so we have our earnings. We have our moolah down here at the bottom and how many students made that amount. So for instance, 2 students made 17 bucks. 4 students made 20 bucks in that week. 1 student made 24 bucks. So far, so good? All right, a dot plot can be described by its shape and its range. This dot plot is nearly symmetrical. Would you agree? Yeah, it's pretty symmetrical. These data show a nearly symmetrical dot plot centered around 20. Most of the data values are from 19 to 21. Would you agree that most of them are between 19 and 21? Sure, why not? The data values are from 17 to 24. The range of the data is the difference of these numbers. If I wanted to find the range, I would take the difference of the largest number and the smallest number and subtract. So it would be 24 minus 17, which equals 7. So our range would be 7. From these characteristics, you can describe the weekly earnings of the babysitters. They typically earn from $19 to $21 each week, but their earnings range from 17 to 24 bucks. Part B, Part B. Here we go. The number of movies that 12 students saw last month is shown in the dot plot on the right. Briefly describe the number of movies seen by the students. Okay, so number of movies. How many people saw 5 movies? 3. How many people saw 6 movies? 2. Okay, we're good so far? The 12 dots represents 12 students. Each one of these dots is 1 student. All right, the dot plot has a tail on the right, which means that it would be right skewed. Most of the data value are from 4 to 6. Would we agree? Yeah. And the distribution is skewed to the right. The data values are from 3 to 8. So what would our range be? I would take the largest number that has a dot and the smallest number that has a dot. I would say 8 minus 3 equals 5. From the description of the dot plot, you know that the students saw about 4 or 5 movies last month, and all of them saw 3 to 8 movies. Agreed? Sure. Guided practice. Number 3. The weekly savings in dollars of 10 students in a class are shown in the dot plot. Briefly describe the distribution of the weekly savings of the students. Okay, so you are going to pause this video and see if you can describe. What could you tell me just by looking at this dot plot? Okay, here we go. Now, just by looking at this, I see that it is skewed and the tail goes mostly to the left. So I could say that this dot plot is left skewed. Okay? And I could also figure out a range pretty easily. How would I find range? Do you guys remember? I would take the largest number with a dot and the smallest number, and I would find the difference. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. 4 would be our range. All right, what else could I say? I could say that all of the students had savings between $1 and $5. How's that? That would work for me. That would work in an answer. Absolutely. Let's see if there's anything left. Next page, next page. Number 4. The number of points scored by 12 members of a volleyball team in a game is shown in the dot plot. Briefly describe the number of points scored by the group of players. All right, so I want you guys to see what kind of information you could give me. I want you to pause this video, see what you come up with. Okay, let's see how you did. I can see that this is skewed more one direction than the other, and it would be more skewed to the right. So I could have said that this was right skewed. I could also say that I could find a range. How would I find a range? I would take the dot with the biggest number and subtract the difference to the smallest number. So 5 minus 0 equals 5. Our range would be 5. What else could I say about this? I could say that most players scored 1 point. How did you guys do? All right, on this bottom portion, you do not have to do. However, the next thing you will do is take out worksheet that is on page 226, 227, and complete that. All right, guys, good luck. And if you need any help whatsoever, I am an email away. I miss ya. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.